Of course, most of us have already watched, at least episode 1, maybe episode 2, depending on when you're checking this out. Ozark Law I'm talking about, and the star, really, of the first episode, my buddy, he's Sergeant with Lake Ozark PD, Mark Kordula. And Sergeant Kordula, man, what's going on? It's hard to get your time anymore, especially after the last couple of weeks.
Oh, no, I appreciate you having me on. It's been a blast. It definitely has.
So I want to ask, get right into it. Ozark Law, you guys filmed over last year, and here we are, hard to believe, already into 25, and the series has debuted. Episode 1, again, maybe episode 2, it airs Wednesday tonight if you're just watching, and if you watched later, of course, you go back and watch that. But I want to know, what's the feedback been like for you in the department?
It's been great feedback. I mean, obviously, you're going to have a couple of negative feedbacks, but for a majority of it, it's been great. They love to see how law enforcement's more laid back around here. They're very personable with people, so it's been a really good feedback.
Yeah, and so many people watched. I saw, whether it's Lake Erie Happenings or some of the Facebook groups and pages, just everybody had something and was watching, and I thought it really shed light on just how personable and approachable you guys in Osage Beach are. So I want to ask, what was the filming experience like last summer, leading up to all of this?
Obviously, the first week and a half, it's kind of awkward. We don't know each other. They're in your car. It's almost like a ride along, including the team that came down, which was an amazing team. They didn't know each other. This is the first time they're working, so it's just sitting there. You kind of trying to be almost robotic. It's just nature. You go from being relaxed to stiff. And then after about a week and a half, it was the friendships were building up, and it just became a family. It really did.
That's neat. And I'm sure a lot of people don't get that type of experience, whether they're on the filming side or in law enforcement. So what was different maybe about your everyday, riding around in your patrol car compared to, hey, now you got a film crew, not only that is filming you, so you want to obviously be professional, practice your P's and Q's, but also keep them safe. I mean, you got to keep them safe in the process. So what was that like?
When they got into it, they said, it's like we're not here. And it's easier said than done, but they really didn't get into any situations. They told us, no matter what's happening, if people are coming up, let us deal with it. You just continue doing what you're doing. And for the most part, it did. I mean, I think there was one time when somebody tried to grab the camera. Obviously, we'd step in for that. Sure. But other than that, I mean, they were in the background. They never hindered our ability to do our job and do it accurately.
Do you think people maybe are more accustomed to it when you're getting stopped? You're either scared or you're guilty, one of the two. And so is it different for those people? Did you get any reactions from like, hey, why is there a film crew? Like, what is happening? I'm not consenting to this. Did you get any of that?
A little bit. Most people were like, oh, is this cops? Is this, no, it's not. It's a documentary. Oh, is this live PD? No. So it was a lot of questions. A lot of people were good about it. Obviously, if you see their face, they signed off on it. So they signed the rights to put their face on TV. But for the most part, I'd say most people were welcoming of it.
Sure. Okay, so are there going to be any encounters that are left out maybe of the actual 10 episodes, or do you think most of what happened during the filming will make the final cut?
I don't know. Unfortunately, I didn't have the luxury of watching every single episode, so I don't know. They made sure that whatever you guys are watching, we're watching also for the first time. So it's kind of exciting for both of us. I mean, we knew what happened. We just don't know what made it, what didn't make it, how much of it. Obviously, like on the first episode, the traffic stop that I did was about 20 minutes. So obviously they can't do 20 minutes, so they cut it down. But so you never know what's going to make it.
And you don't really know what you look like while you're working, correct? So even you knew there was a camera.
I think the mascara, that made more TV time than I think me, just rolling across that I forgot to take off the vehicle. So you just never know.
I now remember the mascara they left. That's great. All right, so maybe your favorite part of the project now that the episodes are out there, at least episode 1. What's been your favorite part of this project?
The whole experience. I mean, we are truly blessed. God has given us this opportunity to show everybody what we do, that we're not just robots, that we do like to have a good time out there with people. So the whole thing was just an amazing experience. I can't just pick one. I mean, I'm still in communication with some of these people.
Yeah.
We just chit chat. They sent me a message like, "Oh, looking good," So give each other a little bit of a hard time. So the whole experience, I literally can't pick one.
So you and the department and a bunch of the locals, you guys had a watch party, and as that's airing, because you hadn't seen, right, episode 1, as that's airing and you're seeing, man, I'm on there a lot. Are your buddies on the department giving you grief and like, man, you're on there?
So to be completely honest, we were watching it, but we were also talking with everybody, thankful that people came down and watched it with us. So I missed a lot of stuff. Obviously, we were a couple of funny moments where we were kind of jabbing at each other. Officer Glasscock, his moment in that. So it was a great time. But I ain't gonna lie, I went home and watched it again, because we had Annie and Lucky 8 allowed us to watch it early.
Sure.
So we got to watch it, then be able to make it home and watch it again to see whatever we missed.
Okay, so people out there, I put a post out there to kind of find out, what do people want me to ask, Sergeant Kordula, and they said, hey, so what's your favorite part of your job just overall? Like, what do you love about being in law enforcement the most?
Getting to interact with people from all walks of life. It was funny because when the TV camera could, like, all walks of life here, I'm like, yes, you will see. And after the show, they're like, oh my God, everybody comes here. I'm like, I'm telling
Sure.
you. So you get to learn cultures and all this different stuff and meeting people. And obviously, we get into law enforcement to help people, and I love that. But I also love just learning about people. And that's why we do so much on the strip, talking with people and hanging out and having a good time with them.
That's awesome. All right, so any teasers maybe for upcoming episodes or anything you can give us as far as like, hey, don't miss, I'm sure this will make the cut. This was a good one? Are you even allowed?
No, I don't know, because it might have been good for me, but who knows if it made it in there.
Sure.
So I'd hate to say one thing and then it not be true.
All right, so now before we go, what do you most hope that viewers and our community takes away from this series?
I think as long as it made it on there, actually about how blessed law enforcement is in this community because of you guys. I mean, the overwhelming support we have here it's crazy. And in some communities, some law enforcement agencies don't have that as good as we do here. So hopefully it just shows the outpour of support from our community for law enforcement.
Yeah, and you guys were on full display, and that is who you guys are regularly. I've known Sergeant Kordula from your time on the west side of the lake. Shameless plug for my parents. Chances are this guy loved the burgers.
Definitely.
But always had that approachable feel to you, and so it's really cool this series shows. Yeah, down here at Lake of the Ozarks, we're blessed because we have a great area and great law enforcement. So thank you for being part of that. And hey, don't miss Ozark Law. I cannot wait to go home and watch episode number 2.
Me too. Me too.